866-8211.
Welcome back here. What's Cooking program, the nation's food, wine, restaurant, travel, and entertainment show. I'm Michael Horn. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Paul Stern.
Hey, Mike, everybody's still talking about what's happening at the Golden Globe Awards, and nobody to better give us kind of a post-Golden Globe Award wrap-up than Access Hollywood's Sean Robinson.
Sean, welcome to the broadcast.
Hi, guys. How are you?
We're great, and we are so excited you're on the show today because it's Golden Globe night. I never saw people go so crazy. There were parties. They must have had, 5 parties, 10, 15, and they're all kind of in the same area, aren't they?
I know. That's what makes the Golden Globe so much fun, because at the Oscars, you got to drive to each party.
Yeah.
So you'll probably be at one and not the other. But the Golden Globes, you can hit as many as you want, and as many as you're on the list for, at least. But, yeah, it was really, really fun. I hit the NBC party, went to the InStyle party, went through the HBO party for a minute. And so it was really very fun.
Let me ask you this, Sean Robinson. You have seen a lot of these, and you were at the Golden Globes last night. And I don't know if you work for any of these people. Maybe you can't say. Who had the best party?
Gosh, well,
first off, who owns Access Hollywood? So we don't, if the parent company had a party.
NBC.
All right, so of course the NBC party was the best. We know that.
Of course, the NBC party
was the best. The Comcast people were there. We love the Comcast people. But who after NBC had the best party?
Well, I got to say, I had a great time at the InStyle party. They really know how to throw a bash. The food was great. A lot of stars came through. And I had a fantastic time.
All right, so give us some background now, because, these Golden Globes, for those that didn't see it, it's the foreign press gives awards, not only for the movies and the actors, but for TV and everything. What were the surprises in your mind, Sean Robinson? You're on Access Hollywood. You see this all. What do you think? What surprised you?
Well, let's see. Well, I got to tell you, what surprised me didn't have anything to do with who won an award.
Really?
But what surprised me was the fact that Ricky Gervais will say anything.
Oh, yeah. Talk about that, because was he a little too off the wall, do you feel?
Okay, I talked to a lot of people after the show, and some folks said, look, that's British humor, get over it, he's funny, relax, don't take things so personally. Other folks thought he was too mean-spirited. It kind of dampened the mood and made people cringe. So, will he be back next year? If I were a betting woman, I don't know. I'd have to say no. And who knows? Maybe he doesn't want to come back. Maybe he was doing it so they wouldn't ask him back. And I think he made that comment during the show. But I don't know. I just thought that a lot of people thought it was a little bit much and a little bit over the top.
Somebody said that he had somebody had a talking to with him at some point during the broadcast itself. Could that happen?
Supposedly they're going to talk to him backstage. But I tell you this thing, that the Hollywood Foreign Press, I was told that beforehand, before the show even aired, they looked at his monologue, took some things out, and then he put them back in during the show.
Oh,
he's
boy.
got guts.
I don't know if they were really happy about that.
Ricky Gervais has guts, and a lot of people, you liked it, you hated it. The one line that they showed a lot, that we've seen a lot as a soundbite, was the Charlie Sheen line, where he said, hey, it's a time now for people to go out drinking and carousing and partying and everything, or as Charlie Sheen calls it, breakfast. I mean, that's the line they used. Were they all worse than that one as they went down the line?
He did a Scientology number that didn't go over well at all.
Really?
Yeah. He did a Scientology one. I don't know if you saw. Did you see the comment at the end about what he made about being an atheist? It's. I don't know. It was. To me, it was a little bit. It was a little bit much. And look, I'm reading some of my Twitter comments. I posted this.
I love this.
Twitter.
I love this. Sean Robinson.
Funny.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can follow me on Twitter at Sean's Sanctuary. Sean's Sanctuary has 3 S's in it.
Sean's Sanctuary, I like it.
Yes, SHAUNS, SANCTUARY.
Okay.
But anyway, some of my comments were a little mean, a little bit of both, mean-spirited to the people who were there. In my opinion, he's got, and I won't say the word that they said he's got, but other people said he was way too mean, And somebody else says, if you can't laugh at yourself, stay out of the business. So, you gotta mix.
Now, comedians kind of went with him. Jimmy Fallon, they did an interview with him last night, and Jimmy said, I thought he was, okay or whatever, right on, because comedians are kind of band together. But it's tough when you're hosting these shows. I mean, I've seen when David Letterman did it one year, and he kind of caught some slack on this, and he hasn't been back at the Academy Awards. I think it's really tough to host these shows, tougher than most people think.
It is very tough. Right. You don't want to be called boring. That's the last thing you want to be called.
Right.
And for many of them, it's like, am I going to be memorable? So, we got a little taste of Ricky Gervais last year. He made, there's certain times when, you get in a zinger to somebody who you think kind of deserves it, but other times you're like, oh, gosh, I don't know, maybe that went a little bit too far.
Now, if we missed it, is it like on the NBC website or anything so you could watch the Golden Globes again, or do the Golden Globe people keep that under wraps?
That's a good question.
I'm wondering about
I would
that.
assume that you could. Well, you can log on to accesshollywood.com.
See highlights? Is that good?
And let me know. Let me know if you can watch the whole broadcast.
I'm going to go to Access Hollywood. Now, Sean Robinson. You and I are supposed to have lunch here. The lovely Sheila Gilmore was trying to set that up because we were talking about you doing a radio show on this very network. Not to go ahead and ruin your negotiations with Access Hollywood.
Can I still get a radio show?
Of course you can. You're in now. I'm telling you right now, the audition, you've flown through it. You've passed totally. We're waiting for you. You could be doing double duty. You could have the CRN microphone kind of in your bag or something and the Access Hollywood out there for the world to see.
Okay, now what's the key to having a successful radio show?
You are just the Emmy-winning journalist person and author. You're an author, too. I thought the key to it is just being yourself and telling us stories like this. That's the key. We want to know these stories, and you gave us great stuff here. You talked about Ricky. We talked about back behind the scenes, and we got stories. And now we're going to go to Sean's Sanctuary and start twitting with you a little bit. Tweeting, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You have to be a little more personal to twit with you.
Yeah, like my mother said to me one time, Sean, I tweeted your Facebook page, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah. Now I look like I'm about 80. I'm about 80 years old, and you've now called that out to the audience. I appreciate that, Sean. I'm gonna go sit down over here and work on my new computer.
Remember when Bob Hope used to host the awards?
Yeah, I do actually. Well, I'm in trouble now. Okay, Sean, we're getting together. This is great, and thank you so much. We're watching you on Access Hollywood and NBC on the weekends. At the weekdays, if you're there, we love you. Thanks for being with us. She's great. I love Sean Robinson, even though she thinks I'm now an old man. Located just 30 minutes from Los Angeles, Malibu Wine's Tasting Room invites you to taste from a selection of award-winning wines